Welcome back to Farewell Clay Facts. The second episode is about Down the Drains. This episode is pretty open and shut. It has a fairly straightforward plotline, and in terms of action, it's quite light on it, which I think makes it good for a second episode. It sort of keeps easing you into the world, and expands it with the appearance of the drains and a few new characters who help the stories in later episodes. I'm not sure how or if I would change the story if I went back and did it all over again. I'd probably incorporate a little bit more movement, so not have Atlas stuck in the tunnel for so long. That said, there is a lot of movement in the shots. They are all quite wobbly. You can tell I was still trying to figure out how to work with the sets and how to film using them, so a lot of the shots do come off as wobbly. I think the big station set here is one of my favourites in the entire series. I wish I'd got more mileage out of it and used it for later episodes, because you may notice by episode 5 it doesn't appear again, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, I was going to different places such as the Masonry Bridge line and different parts of the water down that I think that's alright. This episode introduces Kojak, and after the only antagonistic character was Mr. Traverse in the first episode, it's nice to bring out a railway character who is a bit of an arrogant sort of layabout in the form of Kojak. As you may or may not be aware, Kojak was actually one of the 5 original main characters that I created for Crosslines, all of whom were then developed and then turned into newer characters in the series. Boomer and Kojak's friendship is something I would like to develop further one day, since it's really weird now that I think about it. You have this high-tech lowlife in the form of Kojak, and then this loud old uncle type in Boomer. It's an odd dynamic that I think I'd like to explore a little further one day. CL2 also introduces Isaac Reginald, who is the man above Charles in terms of railway hierarchy. Crawford's does a lot of the legwork, so like checking on the engines and making sure they're alright, whereas Isaac does a lot more administrative work for the railway, and he's the one who answers to the main board of directors of the entire railway of the region. So like the reason why you never really see him much after this episode is because he is usually busy in the office and doing some human related activities, which, I mean, I can't wait to make the episode Dawn does her paperwork, but you know. The station they're at here is called Daylight's End and can be spotted here on the map. Right there. Small station.
As a warning to regular passengers, there will be a change in schedule for next week.
I still really like this cutaway joke. Mr. Traverse is reading the Waterdown Financial with a huge advert for Waterdown on the back. I include a lot more live machine moments in this episode compared to the first episode. Atlas holding his breath to prevent letting off steam, and the eye lights make their first appearance here, and they later become like a sort of standard for whenever there's like a nighttime shot. This episode was based on a much older pre-Cross Lines story that I'd written. I think it had something to do with a quarry engine getting stuck in a tunnel and an express train almost hitting them. In fact, most of episode 1, 2 and 6 are all based off things I'd written before the series and its current state had even been thought of, but were rewritten to create something better and new. If we don't get out of here soon, I will give Mr. Travers something to sue us for, and it won't be pretty to watch. Atlas straight up admits he wants to do something potentially incriminating to Mr. Traverse. And I think the final Farewell Clay fact for this episode will be, if I had a bigger budget, or any budget, I would like to rebuild the drains entrances to look a bit more like Clayton Tunnel, which was their real life basis. I even tried to match how one end is quite extravagant compared to the other in their designs, but yeah, I feel like they would be a lot less cardboard boxy next time. Yeah. So that was Farewell Clay Facts 2. I hope you enjoyed hearing this, and look out for episode 3, hopefully tomorrow. Yeah. This is Half Baked 8, signing out. I've really got to stop doing that. They're so vloggy.